Good morning, NCYC. So, before I officially start my testimony, I would just like to say that I want this to be a conversation. You have lectures at school. I don't need to sit here and lecture you. So, I ask a little favor. If at any point something really sticks with you, something really sticks out to you and sits in your heart a little bit, I want to hear a Can we try that? 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good. I'm a Marian Preach Always finalist from the Diocese of Lafayette in Indiana. And my name is Keira Urbano. Freedom is a word we hear often, but I've learned freedom doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it all begins in silence. For me, it began on a morning when my lamp wouldn't turn on. I had just woken up and kind of rolled out of bed, reached for my lamp. I heard its usual click, click, but nothing happened. I shortly thereafter realized that my power had gone out. And if it wasn't for the soft light coming in through my blinds, I would have been left in complete darkness. So I sat there, wondering what I would do next. I had just finished my school year, and to be honest, it ended kind of rough. There was an opportunity that I had prayed for, hoped for, and really believed that I would receive. But I wasn't chosen. And in that moment of unexpected silence, I found peace. I realized that if I had received that opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to help teach at my pastorate's Vacation Bible School, something that I've done and enjoyed for the past 3 years. And it's helped me not just in my own relationship, but even the younger church's relationship with Jesus and how that allows for their own light to shine. A few days into that same Vacation Bible School, I met a young girl who I hadn't seen before. By the end of the week, I was feeling kind of sad knowing that I wouldn't see her and a lot of the others once the week ended. On a Thursday of that Vacation Bible School, she came up to me, her hand kind of clenched out in a fist. I turned to her and I said, "Hey, what's up?" And she opened her hand to reveal a friendship bracelet, one that matched her own. It was labeled Believer. She gently placed it on my arm and said, "It's because I believe in God and you believe in God." I don't think I've ever felt God's love shine through another person more clearly than I did in that moment. Found myself kind of fighting back tears in front of this army of 8-year-olds, and all I could say was a quiet, "Thank you," before she gave me a quick hug and ran back off to her friends. I had been so focused on what I didn't receive, but God had already placed something so beautiful right in front of me. Discernment helped me see it. And I believe now more than ever that when we choose to love and serve, even in small ways, we're living out true freedom and real holiness. For you are called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through love become slaves to one another. For the whole law is summed up in a single commandment: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Galatians chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. We hear a lot about freedom, but real freedom, the kind God gives, isn't about doing whatever we want. It's about choosing what is right, what is good, and ultimately what leads us to love. In God's eyes, freedom doesn't lead to selfishness, it leads to service. And holiness, it's not reserved for priests or saints in stained glass. Holiness is a life of truth, purpose, and love, and that is open to all of us, including you and me. So, where does discernment work in our lives? Well, discernment is how we filter what we say yes to every day, what we say no to, or what leads us closer to God. Pope Francis, in one of his letters to the youth, Christus Vivit, says discernment is needed daily, especially in our noisy and distracted world. It helps us sort through illusions of the world, lies from the enemy, and what leads us to God. One line that stuck with me from this and that I would love to share with you is, the question isn't, who am I, but for whom am I? Right? Upon pretty brief reflection, our first answer is, God, duh. Like it sounds kind of stupid for me to ask, but it's also other people. God gave you unique gifts and talents not to store away and keep to yourself, but using that to serve others. And by doing that, ultimately, we glorify God. Even in my story about my young friend, she didn't give me the bracelet expecting something in return. She didn't even stick around long enough for me to properly thank her. Talk about serving others in love. There's a quote that I'd like to leave you with that I love from St. Francis de Sales. He writes, God takes pleasure to see you take your little steps. And like a good father who holds his child by the hand, he will accommodate his steps to yours. You have the freedom to walk with God even if it's slow. You don't have to leap your way into sainthood. Holiness is a journey of small, faithful steps, daily choices, little yeses, simple acts of love. And through all of it, God's hand is in yours, guiding you, walking beside you, and taking joy in every step we take toward him. Again, my name is Keira Urbano. If you see me around today, come say hi. And of course, thank you all for your time.